This is the Speak For Yourself podcast featuring the best of Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock. I'm your host, Jason McIntyre. We got LeBron James tonight. James Harden tonight. I'm fired up about another great night of NBA basketball. Hopefully it'll be as good as the Wizards and Celtics. Let's start there. Whitlock reminds us all that the Celtics got outplayed for most of Game 2, and then Isaiah Thomas took over. Cowherd understands that LeBron is hard to coach and sides with Ty Lue, because look how many caddies and swing coaches Tiger Woods has gone through. Greatness is difficult to coach. Former Laker champ Meta World Peace chimes in on this and says, yes, even Kobe was hard to coach because he was relentless and would fight anybody. The guys debate if Lonzo Ball would be a good fit for the Lakers, and Chris Broussard breaks down why the Spurs need to slow the tempo down tonight for Gasol and Aldridge. Finally, former Super Bowl champ Eric Davis counters my big bet on the Cowboys over 9.5 wins. He tries to make a spirited defense that the Cowboys will struggle. He don't like Jason Garrett. How about them Cowboys? I'm backing them again. Ready for Speak For Yourself? Cowherd and Whitlock, take it away.
Welcome to the show. We'll tell you why the Cowboys are being disrespected.
No, they're not, and why coaching LeBron is the hardest job in the NBA easily. Speak For Yourself starts right now.
That's crazy.
It's maybe the most crazy smart thing I've ever said.
You ever heard of Boogie Cousins? All right, hello and welcome. We're joined today by Fox NBA analyst Chris Broussard and NBA champion Meta World Peace. Let's start in Boston, where Isaiah Thomas had a historic night, dropping 53 to lead the Celtics over the Wizards in OT, just days after delivering the eulogy at his sister's funeral. Yesterday would have been his sister's 23rd birthday, and Isaiah dedicated last night to her.
Today is my sister's birthday, so she would have been 23 today. So the least I can do is go out there and play for her.
Thomas had the second biggest scoring night in Celtics playoff history, putting him among some all-time great Boston Celtics. Colin, do you believe Thomas can carry the Celtics to a series win?
Yeah, he carried him to the #1 seed, so he's going to carry him to a win in this series. And he's not just doing it, if you look at who he did it against, he dominated John Wall last night. And John's, in your opinion, has been like the second best player in the East, largely to LeBron James. And that wasn't John having an off quarter. That was complete, utter domination. Wizards threw 4 different people at Isaiah Thomas. Look at these numbers. That's just not John being off. That's Isaiah beating you, and Isaiah's in your head, and your game evaporates. The other thing here is, let's not forget, Brad Stevens took Butler to the back-to-back Final Fours. Butler. Okay, so when you have that mechanism working, that good of a coach, you're playing that well.
Gordon Hayward. Listen, I think you got the narrative just a little bit. I think you missed something that happened. Markieff Morris swung this game last night. He poked the stick at the little dude, and you don't do that. He brought the beast out of Isaiah Thomas. And again, it doesn't take a whole lot. The guy's a great player. But Markieff Morris started picking on this dude and elevated him to another level. They cornered a small person, and that small person broke out a can of whoop ass on the Washington Wizards. It was a mistake mentally. Markieff Morris, I love Markieff Morris. I've known him since he was in Kansas. We shoot dice together in Vegas. He started the game out messing with Al Horford in pregame about stepping on his ankle, and then he got into it with Isaiah Thomas and unleashed the bear.
Are you saying it's over?
Oh, this series is done.
No.
It's done emotionally.
Washington was a bad road team and a notoriously great home team. So I'm not saying they're going to win the series, but this thing is definitely isn't over. I'm still giving them a shot.
Last night, the matchup issues, first of all, I don't know what Scott Brooks was doing. They were sending multiple people at Isaiah Thomas. I think it wasn't just physical. I think mentally John Wall broke down. I think the coaching was odd last night. I think in back-to-back games, Boston has owned the last 30 minutes of basketball. How does that not get into your head?
I think they need a backup center. I didn't like when they went small, when Gortat went out. And I was hoping they had a big man to back him up, and I think that hurt him a lot when they didn't have nobody to back. And Al Horford started abusing them.
Depth is their problem. And you brought up Al Horford. He's played like a star in the playoffs. Yeah. Now, in the regular season, he was disappointed for all the money he got. He's kind of playing like that second guy now next to Isaiah. And your point, Brad Stevens, look, they got defenders, Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart.
They have a bench.
And guys that can hit threes. Not great three-point shooters, but can
home court advantage, better coach, better bench, and they're in Washington's head.
I don't know if they're in their head.
Yeah, they got outplayed for 38 or 46 minutes and then kind of fell apart at the end. Ron, you got to be with me here. They messed with the wrong little dude. Isaiah Thomas elevated by, getting the tooth knocked out the game before, and then Markieff Morris wants to challenge him. You're not going to back a little dude like that down.
I mean, he's tough. I didn't know he was that good. I remember a couple of years ago, I did a show with him, and he was a little guy, and, we did something together, and he just in the NBA. I didn't think he would be this good. He's so fundamentally sound, and he got so much heart.
Yeah, I've been underrating him. And then look, he was 5th on my MVP ballot. I had him 5th, but I kind of felt like, man, should I have put him 5th? But I've been underrating him just because of his size. And now I'm going to have to start giving him his props.
If you look at Washington, the city, and this has always meant something to me. The Caps have underachieved despite Ovechkin. The Nats have despite the pitching and Bryce Harper. The Redskins are the 4th best team in that division, often the 4th best run. Here's Washington. This is a city that doesn't close. It's a political city first. The criticism in the city is levied on politicians. Boston is a sports city. The media's hard, the fans are hard, the expectations are high. Boston teams come out in these playoffs, they are hardened, and they are ready to deliver. That feels like something, Jason, to me in this series.
Again, I think what Chris's point about them playing well at home and the energy I think that you're going to see in Washington, we saw it in the first-round playoff series. This series will get to 2-2, and then we'll have a decision to make.
All right, to Cleveland, where LeBron, maybe you've heard of him, the Cavs appear to be cruising through the Eastern Conference yet again. Even still, Ty Lue says it's no picnic coaching the defending champs.
It's the hardest job by far. It's the hardest job. But, I've been through a lot of tough things in my life anyway, and I just try not to listen to the outside noise, to the media and what they have to say. I don't like the media attention. That's why this job is just so tough because, you're out in front all the time. Whatever you say, if you say one wrong thing, especially, leading this team, it goes viral. It's a big deal.
You believe coaching the Cavs is the toughest job in the league?
No, I think Ty Lue has been coaching a year and a half, and it was like me. I used to love Applebee's, used to love the steak at Applebee's, and then I went to Ruth Chris. So Ty Lue's got his first coaching job, and he's, it is tough, but it ain't coaching Boogie Cousins. Don't give me that. There's some coaches around the league going, give me that problem.
Okay. You'd rather have talent than no talent.
Okay, let me ask you. How easy was it to caddy for Tiger Woods? How many caddies he run through? He got the world's best caddies, and he ran through them. He divorced all of them. Great people are demanding.
Colin, have you ever coached Ron Artest?
That was a tough job.
I'm not saying you don't get... You get gifts with LeBron. Paul West...
Like championship.
Okay. Paul Westhead won a title, but once you also... Remember this. Once you're also fired from a great... Where did Paul Westhead go? He won a title, 2 years later fired. Why weren't they lining up for him? If Earl Watson gets fired, he had nothing to work with. David Blatt didn't get a second NBA job. Del Harris has disappeared. When you get the star and get fired, you go...
You're talking about the aftermath.
That's what I'm saying is...
The aftermath
you
may
get
be
titles,
tough.
or you don't get... If you can't win with LeBron, you don't get second job.
He won it. So Ty Lue will get a second job because he won it his first year.
Okay, but if they got blown out in the finals this year, started slow next year, they're looking for a new guy.
You know what makes it tough, though, is not just the fact that it's a great team with expectations. Because you don't feel like the Golden State job is as tough, or the San Antonio job, or even the Houston job. It's because of the drama LeBron brings and the perception that he's coaching the team, that he's making the trades. It's hard to coach your boss. That's what this comes down to.
It could be tough if anything LeBron says, could put Tyrone, on the fence. And I don't think it's like that, but I can see, where Tyrone's coming from. Yeah, it's tough.
I'd rather coach LeBron James than Austin Rivers.
Absolutely.
Ask Doc Rivers.
Okay. But again, Doc Rivers is keeping his job. And the sense is it's Chris Paul and a bunch of B-plus guys.
That's not true.
How many guys has LeBron coached so far? How many coaches is LeBron on?
Well, he's a coach.
He's been through a lot. And this is the thing that makes it so tough on T. Lue, is that the organization isn't strong enough, doesn't have that Pat Riley guy to go to the players and say, like, look, this is the coach. Because they had their issues with Spoelstra early on. But Pat Riley was like, look, he's coaching you. If you're going to win the championship, it's going to be with him. Cavs don't have anybody to do that to LeBron or the other
Like
players.
a general manager who has that presence.
Got that clout.
Tell LeBron, hey, you got to just pay attention.
Remember when
coach. It's true.
Spoelstra, I can remember when Spoelstra, the first year, the chemistry's a little issue. They get to the finals, big favorites lose to Dallas. I can remember hosting radio shows, and the overwhelming belief was Spoelstra's a kid, he's completely over his skis. If Spoelstra wouldn't have won a title in the second year, he's gone. And that means he wouldn't have won with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron. Eric Spoelstra may never get another coaching job. Today, I just saw something 2 weeks ago, best coaches NBA, he was 4. So the reality is, you have to win the title with LeBron or Magic, and if you don't, the phone doesn't ring again.
Well, Jock Vaughn coached the Orlando Magic, and his phone ain't ringing. Let me ask you something. You played with Kobe. How hard was it to coach Kobe?
It was tough because Kobe is similar to LeBron, a little bit different. He's more of an animal sort of, but
I
he
thought
wants.
you were gonna say ASS, but here goes.
Probably that also. He's definitely more of that also. But it was tough coaching Kobe, and playing with him also. Not for me because we kind of a mirror image of each other as far as intensity. But yeah, it was tough. A lot of coaches had a difficult time.
Plus, you would have whooped Kobe if it had come down to it.
Kobe's crazy. He's not really afraid of anybody. He was gonna fight Shaq. Somebody that fights Shaq.
Oh, Dynasty ends tonight. Not officially, but Chris Broussard, Meta World Peace Pack. Let's move to the Houston Rockets, a team that's fun to watch. They take on the boring Spurs in Game 2 tonight with Golden State and San Antonio dominating the West lately. Nobody's been taking James Harden and company all that seriously, but the Rockets destroyed the Spurs in Game 1, handing Popovich's squad their worst home playoff loss in franchise history. All right, Whitlock, you still think the Rockets cruise past the Spurs?
Yeah, I do. And I put this all on LaMarcus Aldridge. They spent a bunch of money to get a superstar in LaMarcus Aldridge, and he's not playing like one. His legs are dead. He's turning down shots. His confidence is shot. I don't think they can win without a superstar performance.
Who okayed that deal?
Well, again, he looked great. Again, anybody in their right mind would have okayed
Everybody
that deal.
wanted him.
Yes.
Everybody wanted him, but personally, I wouldn't. There's certain people I'm not going to spend that much money on.
Thank you.
He's a good player.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. It's nothing about him. It's only certain people I'm going to spend that much money on. Now, granted, you have to spend the money and give it to the players, but I want to spend it on a lot of good players, not on just one good player.
When you watch a team every night, you know a team. I have friends who are Portland Trail Blazers season ticket holders, and when Damon Lillard came in, first day, people were like, he wants the ball late. Aldridge, with my friends who are season ticket holders, they're like, he puts up points, but I don't trust him late. And Damian Lillard walked in this league and, wanted to take the shot first game out of Weber State.
Ball's in his hands.
Well, it's in his hands, but players either, Paul George, as you say, studio superstar. Yes. LaMarcus Aldridge gets paid a lot of money. A lot of guys in this league make a lot of money. They're not superstars.
You guys remember what happened at this exact point last year. Game 1, second round of the playoffs, Western Conference. Oklahoma City got beaten by 32 points by San Antonio. All right, so in the series turned, Oklahoma City won 4 of the next 5 games. I'm just saying you should slow your roll before you start dumping dirt on the Spurs. I'm not saying Houston might not win the series, but I am not writing off Greg Popovich and the Spurs.
They are old.
They have trouble guarding the perimeter. That's their weakness. By the way, it's a tough matchup.
For all these Popovich, you guys all love Popovich, right?
Yes.
He's the greatest.
Yes.
Here's a guy that was quoted 2 years ago saying, I'll never embrace the 3. Why don't we have a 4-point shot? Okay, you're not going to embrace the 3. This is the football coach that says, I'm not doing this no-huddle stuff.
Dude, he always had Matt Bonner. When
they beat Miami in 2014, that was about 3-point shooting.
Danny Green.
All threes.
Yeah. And so,
he's like Gary Neal.
He runs his mouth. But listen, at the end of the day, they paid $20 million for LaMarcus Aldridge to put up 22 and 10 or 26 and 10. He's not doing it. I don't put that on Popovich. Everything about his resume and everything he did last year says he should be playing far better than this. This guy looks like a shot fighter, and we're going to get to the offseason and find out something was wrong with him.
But even with Aldridge, if he gives them 20 points, to me, they have to slow the tempo down. They can't outscore, outshoot the Rockets.
No way.
They have somehow got this. It's easier said than done, but get it to be a slow game where you can have Gasol and Aldridge inside and you pound Houston inside and beat them up because they're small.
It's going to be tough, but I think how LaMarcus played previously was not the team basketball. So when you're moving the ball, you got to score off the move instead of scoring in the ISO position. And a lot of players can't score when they're moving, so it's tough for LaMarcus playing in a good system to look like a superstar.
Point. Tell me, do you buy the Rockets? Do you buy D'Antoni in this system?
Well, I buy the fact that James Harden's passing the ball. He took 13 shots, and that's how you win. Maybe it's somebody else's chance to have 20 shots or to have 30 points. And yesterday, James Harden was moving the ball, and he was cutting something he don't do normally.
Did you ever tell Kobe that, to move the ball, and that's how you win?
We always tell Kobe, but Kobe's different. So Kobe's going to win how he plays. Some people can't win like that, right? Kobe's a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm trusting Popovich to make adjustments throughout a series more than D'Antoni.
All right, to Lonzo Ball, after Nike and Adidas announced they wouldn't give Lonzo a shoe deal, his father LeVar now says Lonzo's independently released shoe could sell for $200. As we all know, LeVar has been very involved in Lonzo's career, but with the LA native possibly going to the Lakers in the draft, staying local could make it tough for Lonzo to get out from underneath the shadow of his father. Colin, do you think the Lakers would be a bad fit for Lonzo?
No, I think this is really overplayed. First of all, his dad's hovering over UCLA, and he led the nation in assists without playing with really great players. I think he's going to light up the NBA. Yeah. I saw a Jason kid in high school. I think today's NBA is perfect for Lonzo Ball. The Lakers have some three-point. Brandon Ingram can hit a three. D'Angelo Russell can hit a three. I think he works for the NBA. There are these rare players that actually work better in pro sports. And I see a young, maybe not Magic, but he's big like Magic. He runs like Magic. He passes first like Magic. His shot's odd,
but I remember Magic's dad being that involved.
Again, I think it's overplayed. I think in high school, dads suffocate. Yeah. In college, dads can humiliate. Dads become irrelevant in pro sports. How many quarterbacks dads...
You've seen LeVar Ball before then. You've seen this. I don't remember seeing a LeVar Ball in sports with a kid this talented. So you've looked into a crystal ball and can see out into the future. LeVar Ball looks like a problem, quacks like a problem, smells like a problem. He's going to be a problem.
What's he going to do? I mean, really, you got Magic Johnson running that franchise. I don't think Magic's going to let LeVar Ball get in there and disrupt this team. I'm with Colin. I think he's a great fit for the Lakers. They got a lot of young talent. Yeah. I think what they need is a guy that's going to bring it together. That's a pass-first guy. That's not looking to go average 25 points a game, but wants to make Ingram and D'Angelo and all those guys
And remember, Lonzo's from L.A. He's not D'Angelo Russell, Midwest kid, ends up in L.A. like Randall, and there's been concerns. He knows L.A. He's not like, hey, it's L.A. It's part. He grew up here. He works in Los Angeles. He's not in awe of it. He's not intimidated by it. He played in Bel Air. He was never in trouble. His dad's a little goofy. By the way, if I could ever get 3 of my kids scholarships, how bad of a dad am I?
Let me say this. I want to add this about being at home and it's hometown, blah, blah. Most of my friends that really made it big in their profession moved away from home. Home's a lot of distraction.
I think LeVar, I think he's a persona. He's trying to, show everybody. And I think the brand is going to be huge. And for the Lakers, I think Lonzo
big baller, you're going to be wearing it.
I'll wear a big baller. I'll wear
for some shoes?
I'll get a free pair from him. Size 16.
Listen, everybody that pushes back against corporate America is always seen as trouble. Amazon.
You gotta like his ambition.
Now he's a revolutionary pushing back against.
No, but I mean,
don't like
he's taking a knee against corporate America.
You don't like his ambition?
Okay, Amazon was bad for the bookstore industry. Amazon was terrible. Uber's horrible. It's dangerous. In the end, everybody that's new and revolutionary is hated. It doesn't matter if it's Muhammad, MLK, that's the way the world works.
Let me tell you what LeVar's got. A thimbleful of substance and an ocean of ambition. He's going to drown in that ocean of ambition.
If Lonzo can play, he might make it.
All right, welcome back. Eric Davis is back with us, now joined by the founder of thebiglead.com, Jason McIntyre. Let's move to the National Football League, where, according to Vegas, and I trust those guys and gals, the Cowboys are projected to win less than 10 games next season, coming off a 13-3 record, which, if they played their starters, could have been 14-2. With a lot of people thinking the sky's the limit for Dak and Ezekiel, but Vegas projects they'll finish behind Green Bay, Atlanta, and Seattle in the NFC, and only a half game better than roller coaster Carolina. All right, Whitlock, you surprised Dak's Cowboys are projected to win 9 to 10 games?
I am a little surprised. I'm someone that this doesn't add up to me in terms of great offensive line, young quarterback, young running back. Dez Bryant really came into his own. Why wouldn't Vegas see this as an ascending team? And clearly, this to me is a statement about what Vegas thinks is going to happen in Dak Prescott's sophomore season.
If you take New England out of the league, even the Giants with 2 Super Bowls, Carolina gets there. Denver was down this year. Outside of the Patriots, everybody in this league follows up great within a year or two of not so great. I mean, let's be totally honest. We all think Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. Do you see what happened year 1 to year 2 with Matt Ryan? Completions down, picks up, yards down despite more attempts. RG3, remember Mark Bulger? He tore the league up.
Who?
He was darn good.
Yeah.
Now all these coordinators have 8 months, and there were some throws Dak didn't make. And that offensive line, though great, right tackle's getting older. They're not going to re-sign everybody eventually. I think everything was perfect. The element of surprise. Ezekiel never got hurt. Easier schedule. It's a 9-win team.
Listen, Colin, I'm headed to Vegas after this show to put my kids' college tuition on the over 9.5. This is a slam dunk, guys. Come on. I know you said the schedule is tougher. They face 4 elite quarterbacks out of the division. That's it. Did the division get any better? Whitlock, think about this. Did the Giants get any better? Brandon Marshall. Oh, no, I'm quaking in my boots. Eagles, did they get better? Alshon Jeffrey. The Redskins got worse. They lost their 2 best receivers. You look at that, and then the draft, first 3 picks, all defense. I don't know, guys. I love the Cowboys.
I don't know why you're loving the Cowboys. See, this is what Vegas is looking at. Vegas is looking at the fact that you have to count on those same type years out of a second-year quarterback and a second-year running back, okay? Yes, I'm with you. I think these guys are on the climb, but you have to get those same type years. And then this is the other thing that everyone's taking out. Peyton Manning was good for 10 games. You knew that. You need your coach to help you win a couple of games every year. Tony Romo was good for 8 games. And most of the time, when he was there with Jason Garrett, they went 8-8. Jason Garrett is not a great coach. So, and he went 12-4. He lost his quarterback. They went 4-12, okay? They just went 13-3. Why? Because the offensive line was there, the health was there, everything was fine. Wait, hold on.
Sean Lee was healthy last year.
Sean Lee's a good player. When he got into the playoffs, when it comes down to coaching and X's and O's, what happened? They went out again. Jason Garrett's not a good coach. So now I'm thinking Dak can give you 7, 8 games. I think Dak is that type quarterback. You need Jason Garrett to give you number 9, 10, 11, 12. He's not going to do it.
You guys keep mentioning the offensive line. They're all back. They're back. No, they have no starter. I think they got a replacement in Collins, a kid from LSU who's a masher.
He's already out there.
Yeah.
But
guys,
go ahead.
This division, of the last 10 games, Dallas is 4-6 against Philly. Okay, they're in the last 10 against the Giants. The point differential of all 10 games is 13 points.
They got to go to Oakland.
This division,
they got to play Kansas City.
This isn't the SEC where Alabama, you got 8 wins. This division has always been weather-induced, injury-led. Dallas is not pulling away from this division.
Look, I tend to agree with you, and you know what? This is a funny deal. I wonder if they would be a 10-game over-under if Tony Romo were still on the roster, if they felt confident they had a great backup quarterback. And so I wonder if this is, again, I think this is mostly a statement about the quarterback position.
I agree.
and they think Dak's going to back up, and there won't be, if he gets hurt, there certainly won't be a great backup there unless Tony comes out of the booth. And you've made a hell of a point that I hadn't considered about Jason Garrett. Although I think in Jason Garrett's defense, he would say, you think you had a problem with my coaching last year? I took a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back, and I won 13 games after losing my quarterback in the preseason. What does Jason Garrett got to do to get some respect?
Give the guy a little respect.
Win that playoff game. When he needed to coach at that level, and knowing that these guys now knew exactly what it was you were trying to do, find a way to make those plays, make those calls. That's what I need my coach to do.
Mike Tomlin and Jason Garrett are similar. Profoundly historic franchises, really likable. We like them. We don't inspect them much. Coughlin was grumpy. Coughlin's a Hall of Fame coach. Coughlin went on the road with Eli. Win, win, win. Belichick, Super Bowl twice. Win, win. Brady twice, shut him down. But Coughlin's not embraceable. He's cranky. He's old. His face turns bright red in a snowstorm. He always looks like he's in trouble physically. Garrett and Tomlin, the media likes them. We don't inspect them.
For Jason Garrett, 2 out of the last 3 years, 12 wins and 13 wins when he had a healthy quarterback. Almost beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau, the Des Bryant cat.
And when he didn't have his quarterback, that's the problem. He couldn't find a way to win. He couldn't find a way to win a game.
This is the Speak for Yourself podcast featuring the best of Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock. I am your host, Jason McIntyre. Hope you guys had fun today listening to the show or watching us on FS1. Some fun, spirited conversations. Catch us every day on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We do read the comments. Let me quickly defend. I wrote about the Chicago Bears and how they're turning into the Cleveland Browns, and the entire state of Illinois is coming after me. Folks, I liked the signing of Mike Glennon. Behind the scenes here, I ran into Chris Carter, and we're talking about it. He's hammering Mike Glennon. I'm defending Glennon. He didn't really get a chance in Tampa. He had a good rookie year, and then they drafted Jameis, and they had coaching changes. I liked Glennon in Chicago, and they screwed it all up by jumping up to sign Trubisky. That was an old Cleveland Browns move. Stupidity, desperation, it reeked. Good luck, Chicago. I'm out.